Welcome to Charity and Devotion. My name is Clay Anderson. I'm here with my co-host, Danielle Mitchell.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Charity and Devotion. Today's episode is our first episode. We are totally excited about where this season is going to take us. We have started off with an amazing and resilient young queen, Jasmine Coan. She was born in Germany, raised in Brooklyn. She has been a leader in our community from the start of her career. And she's an advocate, an educator, a soul stirrer, a mother, a lover, and an ultimate queen, winning many awards and opportunities to share the gift of music and self-love throughout the world. She's the owner of On the One DJ Center located in Destiny, USA. She mentors youth programs. She's on the board of the Syracuse Police Athletic League and PGR, which is Pretty Girl Rock Foundation, all while being a cherished presence to her family. Everyone, let's give it up for DJ Bella J. How are
Sorry,
you?
I'm running behind.
You're fine. You're fine. So relaxed. So relaxed. We're just going to record for 30 minutes. We have some questions for you. We got a lot of great things going on. We're excited about this. We will be launching our podcast series, episode 1. Clyde, I'm excited about what the future holds for us as well.
I'm excited too. Thank you for this opportunity, for us to collaborate and to put the Syracuse community spotlight on many of its community leaders.
Definitely.
Listen, Clyde, I've been, I'm always, when you ask, I want to show up. I know we talked about doing an interview before, being featured in your podcast and things. Yeah. So I'm glad that this came full circle. And Danny, when you came to On the One, right, I'm just like, I felt blessed because as a DJ, it's always hard to attend things and get to events because we're working events, right? Especially during the summer and this season, it's like we want to take advantage of as many things that's going on as possible, right? So to have you in the space and see you do what you do, I was too hyped. I think I was the hypest person in that room besides the band, besides y'all.
Listen, the whole vibe in the space was a vibe. It was hype. It was DJs of all, genders up in there, from young to even a little older, some seasoned, some that were just starting, and it felt like home anyway. So I was like, I want to go and try to scratch too. Let's go.
I love it. And that's really the goal. I don't want to talk too much on that because I definitely got to have you guys back in that space, but that's the intent. If I can bring DJs together, DJs that didn't know about, DJs from all experience levels, and put us in one room and be entertained, by, the one of the dopest bands that's out here. It's like, I got to do that more. I was a little subconscious of my space because it's so small, but then I found out it's perfect. It's perfect. It was so intimate.
Yes.
To not be crowded, with too many people. It was just perfect. So
amazing.
Thank you again.
That was a great vibe. Great vibe. So we haven't actually started with did you just recently start those kind of like interview and show type of flow? It reminds me of Tiny Desk, and I get that. So tell me about your vision with that.
Man, shout out to Tiny Desk. Shout out to MCR. National Public Radio. I'm a fan. I've always been a fan, right? I don't. I can, whether it's $5 or $10, usually no more than 10.
But still, everything go a long way.
I make my donations to them because I think it's just this outlet of knowledge that is needed. And when they started Tiny Desk, it was just like, what in the world? The most popular episode for them that really took off was the episode with T-Pain. And I'm a T-Pain fan. It still remains to be one of the most viewed shows. And I never knew, that I would be able to provide something like that, but that definitely was the inspiration to it. So the show is called On the One Live. It just launched in July. It is a platform on WCMY Community FM Radio.
Oh, wow.
And they are giving me and my co-host DJ Hameen the opportunity to highlight all of the music of all genres, all talents in Central New York, which I think is awesome.
Yes, fire, actually.
Amazing.
Yes, yeah. The fact that, you know, I'm an open format DJ, meaning I play every genre of music whenever I get a chance. That brings me the most joy is when I can play across genres and play across decades. And to be able to do that and bring in artists that are right here in Central New York is just, I'm excited about it. I'm so excited about it.
It was definitely fun. It's therapeutic set?
It's a 30-minute interview.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then after the interview, we record it, we turn that over to WCNY, but then we keep people in a space for a small performance and a networking opportunity, so that the people that never seen them possibly perform live can see that, so the DJs can see that. Because the ultimate goal is to keep DJs in the building with these artists so that we can bring that connection to DJ and artists back, right? We can find ways to play their music, push their music, promote their music. I tell them, you know, you got your music on your phone, let's airdrop it to me, send it to me right now. Let's throw out some suggestions of where these songs fit, because DJs will be like, well, I can't play that in the club. I can't. That's not the point. The point is, we do community events, you can play it there. We do weddings, you can play the cocktail hour, you can play it all dinner music, right? We can get creative of where we can push these local artists, right? And promote them, because there's so many other outlets that are not for our community, right?
So true.
Important that we be that.
And so that's where On the One comes, because you've opened up that space and made it a space for anyone to come and filled in a gap that was really needed, because creativity is in more than one way, you know. And with the music, you can actually learn how to scratch. It's like a mathematic. Like, you got to be for real with the measures, and you got to be on your timing. You got to keep the party flowing. That's a lot to have to do as a DJ, and especially when you're in spaces where you're not welcome. So it is good to have a huge genre of music that you play.
That's where On the One comes from. On the One, you know, for every bar of music, there's 4 beats, right? And I named it On the One for that reason, because On the One doesn't just relate to music, it also relates to dance, right? When we go to dance, we dance the first beat. When these are making the music, you know, you hear different types of instruments come in at the song On the One, right? And if you put into that, and the DJs do pay attention to that, because most DJs are producers. Producers do turn DJ. They kind of go hand in hand. But it allows you to get creative. And like you said, creativity is more than one way, right? That is very, very big. That's huge for me. I live by that, because that's who I am. That's who we are. Every person is meant to be creative in some way or another, right? And when you highlight your creativity, that is how you tap into your purpose. That's how you get to do the things you love. And that's how we realize that we are more alike than we are different.
Right. That brings us together. Unites us. It unites us.
And that's exactly what my space is about. It started off with most people thinking it's just a place where you come to learn how to DJ. But it just says On the One, right? I started off with a platform in the DJing because, you know, that's what resonates most to me. But DJing is the element of hip hop. Hip hop is very important to me, because it is that tool that allows people to be creative and make something out of nothing. It allows us to start businesses and make money and be self-sufficient and independent, right? It allows us to connect with people and to pull at the hearts of people, and inspires people passion and find their purpose. Hip hop does all of that, right? But On the One, again, I can bring in musicians, I can bring in bands, I can bring in dancers, I can bring in creatives, because we all identify.
That's so true. So who was your guest on the One Live previously, before Frank White Experience?
Before Frank White, we had Sydney Irving.
Yes, great guitar player too.
Yes, she is amazing. I wanted to highlight her on the first episode. She's signed by Grace Musicians Group, who I'm connected to. I think they're an amazing agency. But as far as Sydney Irving, she's a singer and songwriter. She's compared to Tom Petty and Taylor Swift, a blend of them two, which is dope. The great thing about it is that she has so much talent, and she's so in tune with her talent, and she's only 19 years old, right? She's only 19. This girl got like 80 shows booked for just the summer, right?
I know that's right, Sydney. Yes.
A teenager that's artistic or rapping or singing would not be inspired by that, right?
That's inspiration for real. That lets them know that your gift can make room for you. Definitely.
Yes, right now. It can make room for you right now, even at 15, even at 12, even at 6.
Yes. Whatever age.
As long as you connect to the right people, you know, you'll get to where it is you're going faster.
So true.
So during the pandemic, what was the creative process of On the One that allowed you to create this amazing environment for DJs and other performers?
Yeah, so On the One, the name of it was definitely birthed during the pandemic. But the concept of having a DJ center, a space for DJs. DJs are typically in other people's spaces. We are invited to these places to come and do what it is that we do. We don't have a center of our own. When I wanted to learn how to DJ, you know, I tried connecting with other DJs. And, you know, this is a popular story that people know. It didn't work. I ended up Googling a school to go to. I'm a student. I'm always a student. I'm going to be a student for life. I don't mind learning new things from people. So I Googled DJ school. Closest place was New York City. And I'm like, how? Like, I knew right from then why we should have something in Central New York. Well, out of all these DJs, I can't go to a place and learn. So it was that moment, you know, that I knew that I was going to do this. You know, I love to teach. I love to connect with people, right? That is one of my passions, is to meet people where they are, not to try to get them to see things my way, but how can I see it your way and teach you something, right? I've always done that throughout my careers, professionally and corporate world. You know, I was that person to rewrite your whole training manual. How can we better? How can this be more? How can the staff understand it better? Right. So that just so happened to translate into me doing the school. And the pandemic was that perfect opportunity because, like many people, I had some things to figure out. I'm not booked. I'm not busy.
Right. I'm not booked. I'm not busy. Where's my income coming from? Right.
What I'm gonna do, you know? And I knew that there was an opportunity for it because when I was out DJing, people would come up to me and say, you know, can you teach my daughter? Can you teach my son? Can you show me? Oh, it's so cool that what you're doing. I wish I could do that. And I'd be like, well, I'll teach you. So as another stream of income, I was DJing full time and I had to keep as much money coming in as possible. I would go to people's house. They would come to my house. And I knew just as fast as I knew I was going to open up a DJ center, I knew just as fast that I was not going to keep inviting people in my house.
Right. Right. We need a space for them to go to separately.
Exactly.
I mean, that book bag you came with looked like it's been everywhere. I mean,
right.
I possibly leave that outside, or I'm in somebody else's house and the doors keep opening. I'm looking like, how many people coming in here? Who this? You know, I the house, but I just got questions. I just got some things I want to.
Like my.
Or the big one for me is, can you please put the dog up? Please put the pets up.
Yeah, as I say, please do that. Don't invite no stranger over with no animals.
So
can't do it.
Being able to be comfortable and making other people comfortable, because just as I'm looking at them in their house, they're looking at me in my house.
Right.
Right. So, and that's why I just utilize the pandemic as a means, like everyone else, to slow down. Let's slow down. Put some things in perspective. Let's figure out my next move and kind of do some things different from here, because had it not happened, it would have been one of these things that people would have kept hearing me talk about. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. For years, I'm telling people, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Well, when you going to do it?
Exactly.
Come on. And I gave you that time to do it. realign your thoughts and put the vision down and actually make it happen.
Yes, and connect to the people that I've told over the years. You know, Destiny USA, I was their DJ. A store open, I can do the opening. They need a DJ next to Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, I can be that DJ.
Come on, while the baby's getting their pictures.
I need to know, how can I be a fixture here? How can I be a place in here? And they gave me a space, they gave me a great opportunity. And they said, you know, make it work. And I was trying to do that. And I've been trying to do that. One of the things that only a few people know is that also during the pandemic, while I'm figuring these things out, I have to make money. I took a job again as a food service director at the county jail. I ran the kitchen at the Justice Center. And, you know, I knew that was temporary. It was just a season I was in, with the means to my end. It was not intended to be long-term. Even though I'm a foodie, cooking is my first passion.
Okay.
My ultimate goal is to infuse my food, my love of food and love of cooking with my music. That's my later plan. I was able to tap into those skills to become that food service director. And I was grateful for that, right? But it was just for me to get the money that I needed to start up these ideas. And I had to walk away from that in order to be fully in on the one, because there was a buzz. Oh, I go there, she's not open. Oh, you know, I make an appointment, you know, but I can't get another booking, you know, for another few days. You know, I had to.
You had to work as well. Right.
Even though I opened it and it's now here, there's still struggles, you know, in keeping it going. And you know, listen, by God's grace, you know, it's still here. It's doing better. I'm fully on the one now.
Celebrating 2 years, right?
Right. 2 years as of June 29th.
June 29th. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Definitely.
Thank you. Great things are happening.
Very good things are happening. You got not just that, but you also go to different places like Melodies out in Rome and do DJ parties out there. You are on the board of PGR and the Syracuse Athletics Police League. You do a lot of different things in the community. And I see that your effect on the world is definitely beautiful. I know I saw you at one of the Macy's. It was like a fashion show they were having. I was there getting my makeup done for a photo shoot. And they had a fashion show. Bella was up in there jamming. I had to go over there and dance with her, like, let's go.
That's where it all started. Doing the fashion shows at Lord & Taylor, at Macy's, you know, DJing, you know, and of course the pandemic has changed the dynamic of our mall, right? Big retailers are no longer there, but thank you. You know, Destiny USA gets criticism for a lot of things, just like anything. I get criticism in my business, you know, but you know, I'm going to sustain through all of that. What they are doing now at Destiny is creating these opportunities for small businesses to come in and you know, have a space, you know, where there's other things around, there's other entertainment, people can pass time, there's parking, you know, don't got to worry about.
Right, a lot of parking, a lot of parking.
You know, safety is a concern, and that's, you know, been a concern in many places, not just Destiny, and they are working proactively, persistently to of those things so that it remains a place where people want to come. And I'm grateful for that, because if it wasn't for people seeing me in Macy's and in Lord & Taylor, just as you did, they wouldn't be walking around the mall saying she doesn't need to be
on the one that, right.
Get her out of all these stores. And they did that, right? So much so that, you know, they were able to even make a space for me.
But not only do you have On the One, but you also have your DJ festivals that go on as well. Tell us about the DJ festivals.
Yes, because On the One, you know, I'm a creative like you guys, right? You know, we can envision things big and see things big. There's so many things I want to do. Not only do I want to inspire people's creativity through DJing, whether it's a hobby, whether it's a career, but I also want to strengthen the DJ community, right? There's so many times that we can be busy and in different spaces, like I said, but we need opportunities where we can come together,
Right.
right? This is a profession that I feel is undervalued.
Big
I
time.
feel it's a profession that's not taken seriously by people. If someone's kid came to them and said, I want to be a DJ, they're more than likely going to be looked at like, not what you just party, just want to, be on the club scene. What do you know? DJs on Forbes lists, right? They're DJs, they're making tremendous money, and that could be someone right here in Central New York.
Yeah, big
right?
time.
My idea for the festival came about during the pandemic. During the pandemic, everyone is in their homes and they can't go out, they can't utilize clubs, they can't get into venues for weddings, and most people are calling DJs like, can you get on Zoom and DJ for my daughter's birthday party? Can you DJ? Can you add this element? They wasn't asking the guitar player to come and do that. They were asking the DJs. And I'm like, wait a minute. Now we're looked at as this thing where you see our value, you see what we can bring, even though we're playing other people's music, right? Where they don't really look at us as artists for that reason. Now you can see how we can curate a moment, how we can create these memories, how we can boost the energy, right? Mm-hmm. And because you can see that now, then pay us what we're asking for. Highlight at a fair that is right in our backyard. This is a New York State fair. There's thousands of DJs that people don't know about, and yet you don't even dedicate a stage to us. Why is that? So I said it to them, not exactly in that way. I'm giving it to y'all for this podcast. But I said it in a nice way, here's some of my concerns of how you can help me help change the perception of DJs for people by highlighting, by making a space for us, giving us a stage. And every year, I'm going to highlight different DJs from different areas in New York State. They're not coming from other states. They're coming from Buffalo, New York City, Binghamton, Ithaca, Cortland, Geneva, Rochester, Auburn, different areas right here in Syracuse. They're going to come from these different regions to show their skills. They're going to be young. They're going to be just starting. They're going to be seasoned. They're going to be female. They're going to be male. They're going to be possibly transgender. They're going to be all these different things, right? Because we can be, because of our creativity. Right?
Yes.
And I just want to continue to highlight that and make a space. It's new. It's not something that people understand fully my intentions behind. That's why I wanted to talk with you today. It's not just DJs playing after DJ and DJs playing after DJ. It is, where else in New York State are you going to see something like this?
Nowhere. I love it. I mean, they used to have that all the time in New York City, definitely, just in that one region. So we can definitely use it up here.
Exactly.
A little break dance, break dance, twerk, and all of that. Let's go.
Yes.
And it's a platform to it's a worldwide platform. If you think about it, how many people come to New York State Fair for the 13 days that's there? A lot of people.
That's right. So for someone that is just starting off, it's a great stage to play in front of people that are just passing by, right? Getting a chance to have their name out there, having a chance to get over the jitters. And that's really what for me is important. I think that DJs that are just new and or DJs that have been around and still have not had an experience like that need that, right? Because they need to see the DJ next to them preparing. They need to see the DJ next to them thinking, okay, what I'm gonna play after you play that, or they need to see the DJ just as nervous because we go through it, right? DJing is definitely one of those things as a artist that we do have to embody confidence, right? up there and show, but there are things internally that we feel that can't
right. The butterflies, the jitters.
The butterflies, right?
But it's a learning experience. So if you have the seasoned ones there with the and the newbies, you know, it's like, okay, let me see what he's doing, and then okay, let me try to copy that, or you know,
let me adapt to that, or let me try to finagle my way, create something that's different with that.
Yes. Don't sit there and call him a whack DJ.
No.
Don't sit there and you're not ready for this because you just started.
Right.
No.
Don't tell him, that was cool. You know, encourage them, right? At some point, it'll work for you. And I try to, that's the thing, you know, of putting DJs in one space is not just to say, oh, what can you do? And what can I do? It is to have conversations so that we can empower each other because, again, this started off, and I want to take it back just a little bit because it is the 50th anniversary of hip hop.
Yes, let's go.
DJing was birthed out of that. It started off in the parks in New York City. Started off with a DJ named Kool Herc, right?
One of your favorites.
One of my favorites, right? He's the godfather of DJing, right? 1520 Sedgwick Avenue, first party where, yes, there were DJs on radio that will play a hottest record and would tell you what you need to listen to. But he was definitely one of the first DJs, the first DJ to put these two turntables together, right? Most people listening to vinyl in their home only have one record player. He has two. Right. So his setup in a way that he was able to use two of the same records to extend the best part, the most danceable part of a song through a merry-go-round method is something, no one saw getting this far. Didn't see it coming this far. So every DJ that was inspired by him after that, yes, of course, they're going to start to do it better. They're going to start to, oh, you playing this, let me play this. And in the beginning, it was very competitive, right? They did blacking out the songs. You can't read the label on my record. You know, if I'm doing this in the Bronx, I'm gonna go to Manhattan to shop for records, right? You know, being able to access music that no one else had. But those are not necessarily issues that we relate to today because music is everywhere. It's at our fingertips, right? There's so many more DJs. And yes, when it was new, they had to be a little competitive, and it still has to be because there's showmanship. There's, it's a motivator when it's a healthy competition. But we have to have balance to that idea. We have to say, when do we come together, and when do we separate and say, I'm gonna outdo you, and I'm gonna outwork you, and and be competitive. We got to know when and where, and we have to know when do we stop and teach. And give up knowledge that we know, especially to a younger generation, so they're not left on their own and figuring it out. And most likely, like many DJs do, it say, you know what, I'm done with this. Let me go to a job with this benefits, and it's not for me. It's too, it's too much of a headache. It's too much of politics. It's too much of a popularity contest. They quit, right? So if we can show that we can come together and we can encourage each other, I can share my music with you because the way you play it is not going to be the way I play it. Who you DJing for is not who I'm DJing for. The spaces you are in is not the spaces I'm in, right? The way I introduce new music is not how you're going to do that, right? It's possible, right?
So true. It's very possible. It's too many venues out here that need that kind of work. So,
and even if it's not the venues, there are so many DJs that are making full-time careers well over 20 years and retiring from the art of DJing just solely on weddings.
Right. The wedding field too. Right.
Solely on weddings, right? Solely on and booking weddings, right? And me, weddings is like, I don't want to compare it. Man, I gotta
look tough.
I would say like a funeral home. They open up these things saying, it's always going to be needed, right? We're always gonna
Yes.
have a DJ, maybe a live band at a wedding. You know, it's always gonna be somebody getting married, right?
Always.
So and how
Always.
you know we can have more DJs doing it
So true.
and
So
offering styles. And I just again wanna. I had to find my space in this DJing thing, or I would have been one of those DJs that would have quit. It did get to a point for me where it didn't feel welcoming, and it felt like I was maybe being pushed away. It did get to the point where it's like it felt like, okay, we give you support up until this point. Now, what are you going to do with it? You know, you got to get on your own a little bit.
Right.
And I had to get creative. I had to get creative and find my way. And I want to inspire DJs to do that same thing. There are things within you, thoughts of your own, that will put you in spaces that I didn't have access to. It's meant for you.
Right. That's good there. That was a jewel, everyone. I hope y'all picked that up, because it's that all across the board, no matter what your passion may be. If you're a DJ, if you're an artist, if you're an educator, if you're a singer, songwriter, musician, no matter what you want to do, a coder. I mean, we can just go down the list of different things that you can do in your life. A podcaster, hey, that's your space. And to be your space.
Your space.
Yes.
And guys do that is, yes, we can say what else is out there. We do want to look at similar content that may be being pushed. We want to see if there's similar things that are being offered. But at one point, you're going to have to circle back to you. You are both going to have to circle back. And how do you guys play off of your own individuality? How do you guys play off of your creativity to spark interest in the uniqueness of your show? It relates to absolutely everything. I want to get to a point of where I don't want to say I want to. I will be offering some workshops through On the One on how to do that. What do you need to focus on? What do you need to look at? What do you need? How do you spend time to yourself when you need to get sure about you? Because I have to do that, right? And it's not the thing that I'm saying to do. It is this thing that's working for me and carrying me to the point where I can once again leave this other job and stand fully in something that I believe in.
Amen.
So it works.
Amen. Yes, it did.
Amen. Yes.
Amen. Yes. We like that. That's a testimony in itself.
So what are your agenda for On the One for the rest of the summer and the upcoming months?
Man, the rest of this year is going to be spent intentionally, strategically, planning for next year, setting the foundation. Because again, the first year of my business was hard. You know, I was managing 2 jobs, and not just any job. I was the director. Everything fell on me when no one showed up. I had to be there, which meant my business couldn't be open, right? So I had to work that. Then I had a pregnancy. I had my baby that was 9 months.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Such a joy. She is my third. She's my third child, my third battery in my back to keep going.
Nice.
Into being an example for them, right? My other 2, I was pregnant when I was 21 and 24. I was 40 when I was pregnant with her. It was a total different experience.
Resilience.
My youth is, you know, necessarily wasn't the case in this time around, right? Where it's still creating these obstacles for me to be present in my business. So since I've had her in February, walked away, you know, from that other job and being fully present, I feel like I am doing all the things that I said On the One is going to do. It's providing the lessons, it's doing these community events, I'm mentoring DJs, I'm shadowing DJs, I'm providing them the resources that they need, I'm bringing them together to get inspired and talk to each other and build friendships and partnerships. I am putting DJing in spaces outside of Destiny USA in Auburn for their camps in a juvenile detention center with young girls that are inspired through their creativity. I am taking it to schools and universities. I'm taking it to Ontario, Canada, and pushing it and inspiring young girls out there. I formulated a program that that allows each student to start their own DJ business. It is a DJ entrepreneurship program. They go through all the steps of what it is that I had to do. And the beauty of it is that now going through all the things that I had to do to get to this point, you can take the same thing and apply it to anything else you may want to do. If it was a grass cutting company, you still got to get your DBA, your LLC, you still got to file it, you still got to brand it, you still got to market it, you still have to have a business plan for it. So it walks you through these steps that can be connected to any other thing, but it just so happens to be centered around DJing as a start. Because again, On the One relates to so many different things. So does the steps it takes to get to starting our businesses.
Step one, you gotta go with that first. On the
That's
one.
right. Step one, you have to have a or what does that look like?
Yep.
Right, you gotta have that. But so not only are you bringing music and uniting people in a spiritual frequency way, but you're also trying to make them successful for their future. Make sure that they are set and they know that they can be their own boss and that they don't have to go and work somewhere they don't love or not passionate about.
Yeah, people find their purpose in working in the corporate world and working for others and pushing forward. Not every person is intended to necessarily start up their careers and their dreams and their independence and their their professions as the leader of their own thing. But I do believe that every single person has the ability to use what is within them to be their own boss and create their own business solely off of what God has given you, right? I feel that everyone has the opportunity to monetize and create wealth from what they possess, right? I feel that if I can show you how I did it, you can take these same steps and apply it, right? And I feel that there's people that will connect to the way that I did it, and there may be some people that may not connect to the way that I did it. But
it's the people that you're supposed to connect to every time. It's always that tribe that's set up for you.
That's right. We need more people, to create a blueprint, for how we did things. And I believe that's the basis for hip hop, right?
Yes.
Hip hop does that. And that's why I'm a firm believer in its power. And not just me, we see it in the way it's working in the world. To be able to celebrate 50 years of it is because, people continually took something within them, which may have felt like nothing, and made something of it. And they were able to create wealth from it. And that's basically what I want to show is how did I do that?
Amazing.
So now your upcoming events that we see that's going on, because you're not just, that was a lot in itself. It's got me glowing over here, honestly, because some people take their gift and they just, pimp it out in a way where it's not actually affecting the world, but touching the community and also working with people in juvenile detention and things of that nature. Our children are hurting right now. So you're giving them back hope and inspiration right now. So I truly appreciate that you allowed God to use your life like that, because not only are you out here in the community, but you are also trying to raise your own family and take care of your own family and be that queen in your home. So the balance of all of that, is definitely a blessing. And you're looking virtuous over there, Queen. Looking real virtuous.
Thank you. And it's one of those things that I tell kids and I tell my kids, because they're struggling in ways just like many are. The pandemic is not easy on them. And again, gosh, woo, being able to be a food service director in a jail and have to work with these inmates and see what isolation does to them. It confirmed to me isolation is the devil. It is the devil,
yes,
right? We are not intended to be to ourselves for a long period of time. We're not intended to be and not a part of a community of something. The way that we use our purpose because our purpose is to inspire others, right? To keep everyone doing good, to keep everyone in positive in environments, positive thinking. That's how we are supposed to inspire each other. What we possess is not meant to stay within us, right? Our thoughts are not meant to stay within us.
Stay within us, right?
It did that to a lot of our youth, right? It self-isolate and not open up about what it is that they needed. They weren't too sure about what they needed. They weren't too sure about their feelings of not being able to connect with their friends and see their friends, or deal with death around them, or the fear that it can happen to them, those anxieties it created, right? It did a number on not just our youth, but on everyone, right? But I feel like the younger they were, the more of an impact they had on them, because they're the ones that are less likely to know how to communicate what it felt to them, right? So they hold these things in that just sits in them. And that's why I think it's so important now, for me to connect with the youth, and for everyone that has that is tapped into their creativity, to connect with the youth, to inspire these things with them and pull it out and tell them it's okay. It's all right. These feelings are not meant to identify you. They're just meant to be indicators of what it is we need to get out of us and who we need to connect to, right? It's not meant to stay within us. And I say the same thing to these young girls that are in these secured units, that are the most amazing group of young women that I've met. They are the best singers, the best rappers, the best dancers. They have the best spirits. They had the best energy. They are motivated, right? And it reminded me of being in working in the jail, right? This place that you think that is going to be a place that is definitely tough. It's definitely hard. It's definitely not what you want. But there's something within you that can make you even forget where you are. Right. There's a creativity within you that I seen them doing by making beats on the table and rapping, right? And I'm like, music is life. Music is life. Music is the key. Yes, we literally was in the center of this facility dancing. They're showing me the dances they made up, right? I'm trying to do them. I'm singing the songs that they made up, head and shoulders, head and shoulders, head and shoulders, head and shoulders. They're gonna get me for this. But they right doing this dance with it. And I'm like, I not once did I think about where we were. Right. And I tell them,
it's a space.
Stay in that. Stay in that. Because clearly this place doesn't define you. It can inspire you. So that what is coming out of you is going to extend far beyond these four walls. Right? Yes. It's going to. We just gotta stay connected, right? I can keep going on and on about this.
That's amazing. So also, I just want to ask another question about that. So you're in here with these young ladies. Are you able to do something like a project with them, like to create an album, or like have them produce, things of that nature?
Exactly what we're doing.
Oh, nice.
That is exactly what we're doing. So here it is that I'm going in, with a plan that, yes, I'm going to DJ with them. I'm going to show them this, because as long as you have this skill, you'll always be able to put some money in your pocket in a positive way, in a fun way. You'll always be able, whether it's on the one that's going to hire you or someone else, you will always be able to create financial independence by having this skill to lean on, right? So while I was there for our first session, they're showing me these songs that they wrote. They're doing these dances. And I just immediately, I'm like, yo, we're going to hit record on some of these lyrics, and we're going to compile all these things that you guys have, and we're going to come up with an album that we can create, and that we can, we don't even have to promote it as something that was done in this. It's just the fact that the way that y'all performed that and made me forget where I was shows that where I am is not important. It's who I'm with that is. Right?
Exactly.
So as long as we can record something that we can spread, I think that the youth need to hear, what these girls came up with.
Right.
And I told them the fact that y'all got to dance to go with it.
Right. Come on. That's the thing. Everybody got to have a dance with the song.
That's how you hook people in, is when you can create a movement with it. Stop it. So yes, look out for that. Again, I don't want to say too much on what will happen.
No, we're just gonna leave it there. We're gonna leave it there. But hopefully, whenever you finish that project, we will be the first ones to help release it for you.
Yes. I immediately went to the facility and just said we got to start talking about what we can do and what we can't do. I do have to acknowledge, the restrictions of where they are and their ages and all of that. So that I'm working through so that you guys can hear.
It'll all come together. It will. Yes. I'm gracious to you for even being here and allowing us to spend this time together. All your great achievements and the fact that you're humble and you're giving of yourself to our community is definitely an inspiration for all of us. And I think that's the whole point of Charity and Devotion, our podcast, because we want people to know that there are people out here that aren't just making money in the community, but we're actually giving back to our community as well to make sure that it's growing and that we are passing the torch on to our next generation and filling that gap, because there's been a gap for way too long.
Yes.
So we all must come together and unite, and we're so much stronger that way, So much stronger that way.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for creating this platform and identifying, what the conversation needs to be, because what you're doing, I feel, is valuable to me, and highlighting the intentions of On the One. Things that it is looked at as, but there's so much more to it, and I want to be able to talk about it as much as I can.
As you should. It should be all over the world. In a moment, DJ Bella gonna be over in like Dubai and Amsterdam, y'all. Y'all better watch out for her.
London.
For real.
With a crew. I'm coming deep when I go that far.
Let's go. Me and Clyde gonna be there too.
I will be. Right. I'm passport ready.
That's right. That's right. And listen, I don't mind that. You want to know why? Because you are currently with a band that I'm planning to show up with a shirt that says I'm with the band.
Let's go.
I'm that extra member, just in case of emergencies, just in case.
When I retire, or if I can't make it to a gig, Bella gonna take my spot, y'all. So y'all better watch out.
That could be years from now. I have so much practice to do. So much practice. I listen to fill your shoes and sing how you be singing. Listen, it won't be no time soon. But for now, I just plan to pop up. I'm there. Listen, just to let you know I'm there for support.
In the building. Because your presence is loud in itself, for real. It speaks boldly, speaks volumes, it speaks positivity. Clyde?
Yes, before we close, what does charity and devotion mean to you?
Man, charity and devotion means to be selfless. It sounds like it sounds to me to be connected to who I am and why I am, which means I have to be connected to a source that tells me all of that. I don't necessarily have to figure it out, right? I put God first and foremost in my life. Without him, I'm not able to do the things that I'm doing, and I would not be able to do these things with you, right? So charity and devotion, it definitely sounds divine. It sounds intentional, and it sounds like something that is more than me. It sounds like a community, positive community, and thank you for making me a part of it.
Would you like to leave your socials so that the listeners can search you?
Yes, on Facebook. You can connect to On the One at On the One DJ Center. On Instagram, it is On the One CNY. My website is www.ontheonecny.com. Me personally as a DJ, I'm also on Instagram and Facebook as DJ Bella J.
DJ Bella J in the house. We are so
I'm so glad this is being recorded. I'm gonna need that drop.
Oh, definitely.
That
Definitely.
soundbite. To me.
Push that button.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. We love you so much.
Love
Listen,
you guys.
listeners, watchers, everyone out there, we appreciate your time and we hope that you picked up some beautiful jewels in this moment here with our friend, our queen, a DJ, a motivator, educator, advocate, a mother, a lover, a queen, all together, DJ Bella J. Remember, charity begins at home and then it spreads abroad, yo. So keep your eyes focused, keep your heart focused, keep your soul focused. Keep being one with your source, y'all. Peace.
Peace.